Amara, what is this? Why are you holding Emeka like that? Emeka is the man I plan to marry. He promised me we would start our future together after you return from London. So somebody should explain to me right now why both of you are standing here looking like husband and wife. Ngozi, calm down. I did not want you to find out like this, but there is no reason to hide it anymore. Emeka and I got married in London.
And before you blame me, understand that nobody forced him to love me. He made his own choice.
You got married to your own sister's fiancé? Amara, after everything I sacrificed for you, I worked like a slave so you could travel abroad. I sold our parents' only pieces of land because I believed your future mattered more than my happiness. I gave up my whole life for you, and this is how you repay me?
Ngozi, I know I hurt you badly. At first, I was only helping Amara because of you. But as time passed,
things changed between us, and I fall deeply in love with her. I never planned for this to happen. Please, I'm sorry. Just find a place in your heart to forgive me.
You never planned it? Both of you hid this from me for 3 whole years while I was busy planning my future with you. Amara, you are my younger sister. You were the one person I thought would never betray me. But today, both of you have destroyed my heart completely.
Life changed, Ngozi. People changed too. Emeka chose me because I became the kind of woman he wanted.
Before the betrayal happened. Before Ngozi stood at the airport crying while her own sister held the hand of the man she planned to marry for many years. There was once love between two sisters. Real love. The kind of love that makes somebody give away everything just to see another person smile. Ngozi never imagined that the same sister she suffered for, protected, and raised like a daughter would one day return from London holding the hand of the man she loved. But before that painful moment happened, the story started many years earlier in a small street in Lagos. Back then, Ngozi and her younger sister, Amara, lived peacefully with their parents. Life was simple. Their father worked hard every day while their mother sold vegetables in the market. The family was not rich, but their small home was always filled with laughter. Amara was cheerful and playful. She loved talking about beautiful cities, expensive clothes, and her dream of traveling abroad one day. Sometimes she pointed at airplanes flying high in the sky and proudly said that one day she too would leave Nigeria and travel overseas. Their mother usually laughed whenever she heard those dreams. Ngozi was completely different from her younger sister. She was calm, caring, and responsible. Even as a young girl, she already behaved more like a mother than a sister toward Amara. Whenever food was small, Ngozi made sure Amara ate first. Whenever Amara cried, Ngozi stayed awake comforting her. She loved her younger sister deeply. But one terrible night destroyed everything. Their parents were returning from the market during heavy rain when a terrible accident happened on the road. Neither of them survived. That night changed Ngozi's life completely. She was only 22 years old when she suddenly became both mother and father to Amara. The small house that once felt happy and peaceful suddenly became empty and silent. After the burial, many relatives came around pretending to care. They promised support. They promised help. But little by little, everybody disappeared. Soon, food finished inside the house. School fees remained unpaid. The landlord started demanding rent. Every night, Amara cried till daybreak. Sometimes she woke up shaking and held Ngozi tightly while asking what would happen to them now that their parents were gone. Even though Ngozi herself was scared, she refused to break down in front of her younger sister. She always smiled and assured Amara that everything would somehow become okay. But deep inside, Ngozi had no idea how they would survive. One afternoon, she walked around the village desperately searching for work. She visited restaurants, farms, and shops, but nobody wanted to employ her permanently. Finally, somebody directed her to a wealthy family in Port Harcourt looking for a living maid. The salary was small. The work was hard. But Ngozi accepted immediately because she had no other choice. Before leaving for Port Harcourt, she held Amora's hands tightly and made her a promise. No matter how difficult life became, Amora's education would never stop. Amora cried while hugging her tightly. Life in Port Harcourt became harder than Ngozi imagined. The rich family she worked for lived inside a massive mansion with shining floors and expensive cars parked outside. From the very first day, Ngozi understood that nobody there respected her. Every morning, she woke up before sunrise. She cleaned the compound, washed clothes, cooked food, scrubbed toilets, and slept very late at night after finishing endless house chores. The woman she worked for, Madam Patricia, treated her badly most of the time. One day, Ngozi accidentally broke a glass cup while washing dishes. Madam Patricia slapped her immediately and insulted her for being careless and poor. Even the children inside the house treated her badly. Sometimes they poured drinks on the floor purposely just to watch her clean it. Sometimes they mocked her clothes and village accent. But Ngozi endured everything quietly. Every month, she sent almost all her salary back home so Amora could continue school. Many nights, Ngozi stayed hungry after sending money. Sometimes she cried silently while lying on the cold floor of her small room. But whenever Amora called happily to talk about school, Ngozi forgot her suffering for a moment. After some years,
If you're really enjoying this video so far, consider subscribing to my small channel. My boyfriend promised to take me out if I hit 1,000 subscribers, and that would mean the whole world to me. Thanks for listening this far.
Amora eventually completed her secondary school with excellent grades. Ngozi felt proud like a real mother watching her child succeed. Then one day, Amora called with exciting news. She had gained admission to study nursing. Ngozi almost cried from happiness after hearing the news. But the excitement quickly turned into pain after they discovered how expensive the school fees were. That night, Ngozi could not sleep. She already worked herself almost to death, yet the money was still not enough. The next morning, she begged Madam Patricia to allow her work extra hours somewhere else after finishing her house chores. Soon, Ngozi started doing 2 jobs every single day. During the day, she worked inside the mansion. At night, she washed dishes in a small restaurant nearby. The stress became too much for her. Her body grew thinner from exhaustion. Her hands became rough from constant work. Many nights, she cried silently while washing plates late into the night. But she kept going because she believed Amora's future mattered more than her own happiness. Years later, Amora finally graduated successfully from nursing school. The entire village celebrated her achievement. People praised Ngozi everywhere. Some people even called her a hero. For the first time in past years, Ngozi finally felt maybe all her suffering had meaning. Then another life-changing opportunity came. Amora was offered a nursing program in London. The news shocked everybody. London sounded like another world to her. But the happiness quickly disappeared after they saw the amount needed for the travel expenses. The money was impossible to afford. Amora cried because she did not want to lose the opportunity. That night, Ngozi sat alone outside their old house thinking deeply, calling her parents for help. Their late parents had left behind one small piece of land, and it was the only valuable thing remaining in the family. The next morning, Ngozi sold the land. When Amora heard the news, she cried while hugging Ngozi tightly and promised she would never forget the sacrifices for the rest of her life. And at that moment, Ngozi truly believed her. Around that same period, Ngozi met Emeka. Emeka owned a small electronics business in Port Harcourt and often visited the restaurant where Ngozi worked at night. Unlike other people, Emeka treated her with kindness and respect. One evening, he saw Ngozi struggling to carry a heavy bucket of water outside and he rushed over to help her immediately. Step by step, they became close friends. Emeka admired how hardworking and selfless she was. Ngozi also admired his calm and caring nature. For the first time in many years, somebody looked at Ngozi like a woman instead of a servant. Their relationship slowly became serious, and eventually Emeka asked her to marry him. Ngozi almost cried from happiness because after years of suffering, love had finally entered her life. But even then, she still placed Amora first. She told Emeka they should wait until Amora settled properly in London before planning marriage. Emeka agreed to the agreement. He even helped support Amora financially sometimes while she lived abroad. At first, everything seemed beautiful. Amora called often from London and sounded excited about her new life. She sent pictures of beautiful buildings, hospitals, and snow. Ngozi proudly showed those pictures to neighbors and friends while talking happily about her sister succeeding abroad. But slowly, things began changing. The calls became shorter, then less frequent. Sometimes Amora ignored messages completely for weeks. Whenever Ngozi asked if something was wrong, Amora always sounded irritated and claimed she was busy. Ngozi tried not to think too much about it. She believed life abroad was probably stressful. What Ngozi did not know was that something dangerous had already started happening quietly behind her back. Amora and Emeka had begun speaking privately online. At first, the conversations were innocent because Emeka only wanted to help. Check on Amora for Ngozi's sake. But over time, the conversations became more personal and secretive. Amora slowly began poisoning Emeka's mind against Ngozi. At first, Emeka defended Ngozi. But Amora was beautiful, smart, and manipulative. Little by little, she pulled him closer to herself. Her social media became filled with luxury lifestyles and expensive places. Whenever villagers praised Ngozi for sacrificing everything for her, Amora barely mentioned her anymore. Still, Ngozi continued defending her younger sister. She kept believing Amora was simply too busy with life abroad. Then one day, Amora finally called with exciting news. She was returning to Nigeria. Ngozi became overjoyed immediately. For days, she could barely sleep because of excitement. She cleaned the house repeatedly, cooked Amora's favorite meals, and proudly informed neighbors that her sister was finally coming home. She also planned to properly introduce Amora to Emeka so they could finally begin preparing for marriage. The day of Amora's arrival finally came. Ngozi wore her best dress and carried fresh flowers to the airport. Her heart was full of excitement while she waited near the arrival gate. Then suddenly, she saw Amora walking toward her. Amora looked more beautiful and polished than before. Ngozi smiled happily and rushed forward. But the moment her eyes landed on the man standing beside Amora, her smile disappeared instantly. Because the person holding Amora's hand was Emeka.
Wait, this is not the end. Ngozi's story is far from over. The biggest betrayal has happened, but the truth has not been revealed yet. What happens next will shock everyone. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss part 2. The next chapter is coming soon. See you in the next video.